Hey, buddy, pumping some iron?
Yeah, dude. By the end of this episode, we shouldn't need this old axle and tires anymore, so I figure I might as well get some physical therapy in for the elbow, you know?
Makes sense to me.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. They don't call me Big Bob for nothing.
Time to get back to work on the red cart, man. We haven't touched this thing since before episode 1. We did a little recap, a little reminder that it was here last time, but we're gonna actually get to throw some sparks today. So, if you couldn't tell from the intro, we're going with those same big boy tires that we threw on my dad's cart. You wanna bring that over here? Let's see the old versus new. Yeah, big size difference, right? These are 20s, these are technically, I think, 22s, but it's even more than 2 inches that we're picking up here. So that's gonna be a big upgrade. We get a little bit of a lift out of that, but for my cart, I'm trying to keep the center of gravity as low as possible for obvious reasons. Stock, these Yerf dogs have kind of a body lift because the way they mount the axle is off these hangers that drop it down maybe an extra 2 inches. We're gonna go in, I'm gonna cut these out, slide them up, re-weld them so we can drop the whole ass maybe another 2 inches or so. It's not gonna affect our clearance too much because our lowest point is this sprocket. The distance of the sprocket to the ground is just governed by the tire size and where the axle sits. So if we can drop the whole body of the cart, pick up a little bit better center of gravity, and also, you know, it's gonna look cool. Things will be stanced out. So we'll probably do that, and then try and get fit our engine in so that we make sure we have enough clearance between the big old sprocket here and the little sprocket on the torque converter, and maybe even throw in our engine plate and have something pretty looking by the end of this today. First things first, let's just get this thing apart, and I think I'm just gonna take the Sawzall to it. Back to the welding table. All right, so I threw one of our bearings in here for the axle along with the mount that holds it in. That way I can kind of see what I'm working with here. Here's where we were before, up here like this. And the whole point of cutting this off is that way I'm gonna be able to drop it down to here. And we pick up a good 1.5 inches of a drop above the rear axle, so that'll be pretty sweet. And honestly, I'm such a freak, dude.
Super freak, she's super freaky.
What I wanted to do was like, oh, I'll even drop it. I can go another 1/2 inch if I flip the thing to the other side, then I don't have to drill all the way through all this, but we'll save that for a true drift cart. We'll do a custom purpose build. So we still want to be able to get through the trails. I think I can handle having that extra 1/2 inch. So I got my little magnet here holding it up in place. We'll break the welder out, get a couple tacks on this once I know I've got it straight, and we should be in business. That's tacked in place. I think that's as much as we need to do on this for now. I'm just gonna take this over and get it set back up, and I should be able to see everything I need to see to get the location of our engine and base plate figured out. So that's up next.
What you doing over here, Big Bob?
Hey, Trey. Actually just getting ready to work on the floor on this cart. We talked about it last episode real quick, I think. Once this is all powder coated, we're gonna install a really nice diamond plate floor on the bottom here. Bobby told me I'm dragging my butt on this thing. I gotta get moving on it. So I'm gonna take the seats out. I started a template, but I wanna test it because he's done some work on the pedals, he installed the e-brake. I just wanna make sure it still fits. If that's good to go, we're ready to cut the diamond plate. We just don't wanna screw up this diamond plate floor. So that's it, I'm gonna pop the seats. Hardware's already out. And then we'll see what my template looks like.
Want me to give you a hand?
Yeah, you wanna grab that one? That'd be awesome. All right, we can see what we're working with now. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Hey Bob, you wanna take a quick look at this with me? Cardboard fits in there beautiful, right? But the diamond plate's gonna be a thicker and less pliable. I'm wondering if we need to trim a little here or not.
Well, what I would say is trim the whole template and make it a little bit narrower. It doesn't have to fit perfectly. You're never gonna see it because the whole thing's gonna be powder coated underneath it anyways.
Okay, so maybe a 1/4 inch.
Or you could even go 1/8 of an inch. It's up to you.
Okay, all right, let me do that.
Ooh, we're starting to rain. Let's bring this thing.
All right,
Yeah.
where are you, back there? Okay, should be able to cut it right there. All right, I'm gonna cut it right here on the floor. That's pretty sweet. So now, in theory, we're gonna find out if I turn this over, does this template work on the passenger side too? I think we got a workable template. All I'm gonna do is cut this out of wood now, so it's less viable. And if that works, I think we're ready for the diamond plate. So, pull this out, trace it on this wood over here. There's our template. So we beat the rain, we got our new template out of this nice thin wood, and let's give it a try and see if it fits. It's really not bad at all. If anything, I might take an 1/8 of an inch off right here, but I'm happy with everything else. My nice corner cut came out pretty sweet. Bobby taught me well. The only question is, will it flip around on the other side? Trey, I'm gonna swing around to that side because I should be able to turn this template over and it should work on the other side as well. Pretty much the same situation. I just wanna take a little bit off this back edge here. So I'm gonna cut a little bit off and give it one more shot and then we should be good to go. All right, cool. Much happier with that. That fits in there beautifully. We're gonna rivet this down when we actually cut the diamond plate. We got a good template now. We'll rivet that down. It's gonna all be powder coated first, so I'm pretty happy with that fit. What do you think, Bob?
That's gonna dress this up so much.
It should fit both ways. I trimmed a little piece off. Let's spin it around. Look at that.
Well done.
Happy with that.
Did you label each side too?
I did. My goal was hopefully one template and it just reverses and it worked out. I think we're good to go.
We may want to wait on the cutting of the aluminum until we can do it outside so we're not chucking that kind of dust all over the place.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So I think we're good on this piece.
Cool.
All right, awesome.
Well, Big Bob was getting his floor finished up. I threw the engine in here to kind of test everything, test fit. You can see we're sitting a little lower now than we were before, which is sweet. The cart's up on jacks, I'm gonna have to lower him at least a stop to get this thing leveled back out, but for now, it's looking pretty good, so I'm very happy with that. So the main thing I was kind of checking out was just to see how much wiggle room I have before the big sprocket right here on the axle hits the little sprocket that's on the inside here. You can see it better from up top, pretty decent. So I went ahead, made a couple marks. I think the next thing to do is just slide this bad boy out, and then we can kind of figure out where we're gonna want that, the actual engine plate. This bad boy. We'll just slide this right up in on top, just like we did on that one. We have to make a couple little cuts to make sure everything's gonna line up right. But yeah, we should be pretty good. Get this thing welded in. I started work on getting all the little shock mounts ready so I could put the shocks in, forgetting that because we have such a heavier engine and the entire cart got heavier, we decided to double up this back frame here. And so you can see on this one, we put it down underneath. I bent a second hoop and welded it in just to give it a little bit more structural stability, because these tend to bend even on the stock Yerf dogs, and I did not want that happening here with all this extra torque and weight. So here we got away with putting it underneath, but because I'm fighting for the lowest clearance possible, the way that I have my axle and everything set up, we're gonna instead have to put it up on top. So shock brackets are gonna have to wait until next time. But we can go ahead and pull the engine out of here, throw it on our little dolly, and get to getting that plate in. You wanna give me a hand on this? Here's our plate, and if we were to just put it in down here, it does fit right up on top nice, but the actual plate where these holes come through don't line up perfect, so we are gonna cut the middle of this plate out, and I wanna shift this back kind of as far as I can. So I think we'll notch the corners here, slide this into place, make our cuts on the ass end here, and then that'll probably be all we do for today. The thunder and lightning is getting a little sketchy, so I'm trying to avoid the power tools, but we should be okay. All right, no more stock engine plate. Cut that bad boy out. This time, there was no guesswork. I had the other cart and everything in the rear end pretty much works the same other than us dropping these axles down. So, got our new engine plate notched out. That way, we can slide the engine as close into the passenger compartment as we want. Notched it over so we can move it over this way too, because of the way this whole thing kind of mounts. This is the best place to have it so that our weight is actually centered down the middle of the cart. I'm just gonna need to square this thing up and then we can weld it in place. I've caught enough sparks in the armpit for today. I think we're gonna throw the actual protective gear on. We blew the breaker. I guess that's probably enough welding for today. We're missing one more. Did it roll away on us? Oh. Thanks, Trey.
Beautiful.
almost like we know what we're doing. Almost. Now we get to see where she sits. Oh, I'm happy with that. Oh, when I'm in here, with your tires right there, this thing is gonna be such an animal. Because, I mean, if you remember, we didn't extend this one at all. We went 5 inches longer on that cart, didn't do anything on this one. Went 10 inches wider, didn't do anything on this one. So this thing's gonna be a little Spitfire, man. That is so sick. I love that OG bench seat. So fire. This thing's gonna have an old school look to it. I'm so excited. A little tight on this side with the clearance for the shocks, but I measured it out to be exactly the same as the other one, so it's just gonna be a matter of how I position it all. But this thing is looking mean. Other than the shocks, we pretty much have a rear end. We've already got the tank mounts and everything. Matter of fact, let me grab the tank. All of a sudden, it's starting to really look like something. You saw the difference in size between these and these guys. I'm gonna talk about in the clips. I mean, there'll be some little onesie-twosie stuff for me to kind of put together and finish up back here, which I'll probably do off camera, but just like that one, we're gonna take the whole front end off of this and completely rebuild it. Important note, the reason we do the rear end first on these, for stance reasons. I wanna know exactly where that's gonna sit, and then from here, I can kind of set if I want the cart to sit on a little bit of a forward slant or if I want it to sit perfectly flat. And to be honest with you, I haven't 100% decided exactly what I want yet, but I think on this one, I'm gonna go a little bit wider on the front than we did on yours. So they're actually, instead of being staggered, they're gonna be front tires match the width of the rear tires, which I think is gonna be cool. Because right now you can see, even with the stock wheels on there, they do stagger where the front is a lot narrower than the rear. Because I was thinking about it after our little crash, and I turned in so tight, and if it was a little wider, I feel like it would be harder for it to have rolled over, because in the video, it doesn't roll straight over, it rolls over that front tire. So because this thing's gonna be our little send monster, I think we're gonna go a little wider. It's been the plan all along. Plus it's gonna look bonkers. Absolutely irresponsible. Oh, good to be back in the shop, man.
Yeah.
It's been a couple videos since we really threw any sparks.
Yes.
And I'm also stoked to see this red car coming along. It's been too long sitting here, looking sad and dejected.
I was feeling guilty.
How sick is this new rear end look, man? It's squatting down nice now. This thing's so compact and so crazy looking. It's turning out to be exactly what I kind of envisioned. So we lowered it down onto the axle. We got our new engine plate in. All this stuff was a breeze too. We did all the R&D on your cart.
I know. You said it was gonna be, and you were right.
Yeah, I kind of know the ropes at this point, so we're just kind of cranking through them. It's all just tacked in, obviously, but we'll weld it up later. We got the Predator sitting in there. The ungoverned Hemi Predator 420.
Hasn't even run.
It didn't have any oil in it yet. If you guys want to see how we got that governor out of there and kind of a how-to video, we just shot that the other day, and we'll put a link to it right up here and down in the description, so you guys can go check that out. We had the camshaft fall out on us and everything, so a lot of the other videos didn't have that issue, so if you run into those problems, go check out ours. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. I mean, we cranked through it pretty good today.
Yeah, for sure.
And you got to work on your templates.
Yeah, I finally got that done. Now it's just a matter of cutting the dye.
Yeah. We'll get the shocks in next time. I gotta do that second loop of 1-inch tubing around the back here to stiffen everything up. No clearance issues. A little worried about that with us dropping the rear end down onto the axle, bringing the sprocket up higher, but we avoided any issues, so we're moving right along. I can't wait to have these two things running. That's gonna be crazy. I think front end's next. That's gonna be a fun one too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bending and a lot of cutting and a lot of welding, but we already did it once, so.
We even got a bicep workout in.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you a new barbell because this is mine.
Yeah. That's good too.
All right, well, we'll catch you guys next time. I think that's it for here, right?
One last thing
What's that?
we were going to mention is episode 10.
It is episode 10.
Kind of a milestone.
We hit double digits. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for sticking around, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Here's to many more.
Trey, episode 10 in the
Yeah,
books.
man. Episode 10, baby.
Hell yeah.
We'll catch you guys on 11.
All right.
What you got there?
See, dude, I almost burnt my mullet off yesterday welding, so we're not trying to do that today.
Dude, that's the moneymaker.
I know, dude. Can't be doing that.